Hey, Kowalski here. Welcome back to another video. Now, a big disclaimer before we start the video. Now, in no way, shape or form do I want to make it seem like this line is like the most perfect line and the most perfect way to deal with the London. Now, the thing is, this is just my way to deal with the London. So let me show you what I'm talking about. The thing is, the London system, right? It can often it starts with the move d4 and knight f4. Bishop f4 at the second move. But the thing is, right, with d4, you play knight f6. Usually that's how it goes. And now if bishop f4, the thing is, there is this very nice line with c5, very provocative, and there are a lot of variations here. The thing that we will come back to this position, and we will come back to my game and why this video is called, and the title here is called Amazing Preparation. The thing is, here, if a move like knight f3 happens, here you begin to start having a lot of options. First of all, you can go into some e6 lines if you're like a Nimzo Indian player, and if bishop f4 now, you can still play the move c5 because the thing is, you took the d5 square away from the opponent pawn here. And the thing is, now it's just a very equal game with white being marginally better because e3 like the main line, and here you can even continue in the spirit of queen b6. But in this position, you don't even need to do that. Knight a3, and you might get in a little bit of trouble here, although that line is perfectly fine. But here you can even play a move like knight c6 or d5, or you have so many options in this position. But again, I would go for queen b6, and here, if something like knight a3, you have to be careful, not to take the pawn and walk into some knight b5s here, because knight d5 now is not really possible because of rook b1, and after queen a2, like, we're gonna compare this line. Keep in mind this line. We're gonna compare this line here, and bishop c4 with another line that I'm gonna show you. Actually, no grandmaster games have been played here in this position. Now the thing is, you can also try, instead of e6 here, you can also try a move like g6, and if bishop f4, here c5 you could play, but this would allow a move like d takes on c5. But now the thing is, not many grandmasters have played this. Only Taimanov played this with the white pieces, but that was in 1973, and it's been almost 50 years since then. So this line is very rare, and you're not really gonna get that. c5 is not like the most practical move. Bishop g7, and you're basically playing a setup where after a move like e3, now you can play the move c5 if you'd like to, because you have this diagonal pressure and everything, and white doesn't really want to take now because you see, like, just the Catalan pressure, that's what it's called. But coming back to what happened in the game, bishop f4 on the second move, the thing is, c5 very provocative works now because you don't really want to take this, because now I get this move knight a6 threatening the pawn, and let's say you just continue developing. I pick up the pawn, and I'm getting a very nice center here with black. So the thing is, the main line is not taking. It's either e3 and or d5. This is called like the London against Benoni in a way, with a move like d6 now, and with a move like knight c3 and e4. This is a Benoni structure, and that can arise from like a Benoni. That would be this, like that's the Benoni structure right here, like that. But comparing this one with the structure that we're getting in the game, so for example, here after c5, if you have d5 now and d6, now you can see that, white does have some annoying pressure, for example in this line, but black can always play e5. So in the Benoni you cannot play e5 because you don't have an e pawn. So e5 is the right move. And now there's a lot of theory that happens here. You know, people like Carson played this move, and they played the move like bishop d2, keeping the pieces on the board. For example, Carson beat Aronian, and also Grishchuk beat Maxim in this line with bishop back to d2. Also a draw between the same players. The thing is, bishop d2, you know, played at the highest level, has some you know, some ideas in the future, but the thing is, like the most popular move is definitely bishop g5. But the thing is, after h6 you're pretty much forced to take, because I mean, you could go back, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So you're pretty much forced to take, and now, you know, you get this position with after e4. You have some grandmasters games, but the thing is, this line is not so popular. But then again, it's also pretty safe for black. As you can see, the position is in the 0-0s, and you always have ideas with attacking the center, maybe playing f5, and black is fine in these positions. But coming back to the main line, after c5, usually e3 is played. And now the ultra main line here is queen b6, and you could try a move like g6 and maybe trying to revert to some sort of Benoni type structure again, or maybe a Grunfeld type structure, or you know, some semi-Tarrasch defenses maybe. But the thing is, if you play the move g6, which is fine now, I mean, now white kind of gets the things that they want in the London, which is like c3, you know, bishop d3, and just playing it safe. But the thing is, you can play very provocative. Again, you can play the move queen b6, and this is just very provocative because you have to defend this pawn. And the thing is, if b3 is played, now black is actually better, because the thing is, now black can actually play this move g6, bishop g7, because he has a target on this diagonal. Like, for example, bishop e2, like, you know, just bishop g7 here. You know, if you play some move like knight f3, for example, just maybe a move like d6 or knight c6, just solidifying the center, and here you just have very, very annoying long time pressure. Again, that same Catalan pressure that I was talking about. And if, you know, b3 is like not the best move. Also here, queen c1 can be tried, but these are just some very, you know, not so good sidelines, because here you just lose a pawn, and I mean, yes, you kind of get some development with c4 now, but the thing is, black's up a pawn, and you know, it's not like he's down in development very, very bad. It's fine actually. So, you know, you don't really want to play the move queen c1, you don't really want to play the move b3. What can you play? Now, you might know from other videos that you might have watched, or from your own games, that knight a3 is really like knight a3 or knight c3 are really like the two options here that people go for. The thing is, knight c3, and here you can take the pawn and enter the same variation as with knight a3. With knight a3, you're kind of pretty much, I'm not forced, but you don't really have any other options but taking. With knight c3, you could maybe try the move e6 to take away this square, and you can kind of play on normally, like not take the pawn. But the thing is, you know, a reason that you would not want to take the pawn is because if you're trying to play with black for something, the thing is, this position just allows white to get a draw here. And the thing is, this is a draw here, basically. This is a draw. Many games have ended in a draw at the top level between players that maybe wanted to just make a draw. The thing is, here, if you try to play something pretty stupid, like if you try to take the rook, I mean, that's just stupid, right? Because you're not going to get the knight. Why I said that? Because there is a line where you sack the queen, but it's not here. And here, of course, in this position, like, you could try to maybe play on with the move like, I don't know, knight f3, and there are still, you know, ways that black can go wrong. Like for example a6, and you know, white would be winning after the move c4. Now you're attacking the knight, and the thing is you cannot take the knight because the rook is pinned. So here, you know, you would have to take, and now either check or e takes f4. Both moves are better for white. And here, you know, you can play on. There have been games, but the thing is, after you take the pawn, maybe a move like rook b1, maybe bishop d3. I mean, black is just fine. Point is, in this position, black is up 3 pawns, and yes, white still has kind of some initiative, but in a way, it's enough. I mean, you know, 3 pawns are enough. Now even 4 pawns are enough to compensate for this active set of pieces here, and somehow you're safe as black in this position. Now obviously chess has to still be played, and if you're very ambitious with white, you can play this line, and you know, I would even recommend this line to be played, because you literally sack 4 pawns, and you're still having some sort of initiative. Like, this has to be good. But coming back to what happened in the game, I want to make a short recap of the whole line. The thing is, my opponent here played the move d4, right? He's 1600, theoretically better than me, and here, you know, I decided to play my favorite line with c5, just like I covered, and e3 the main line. Now queen b6 attacking this b2 pawn, and the thing is, now he played the move knight a3, and here I started to get, you know, hyped up, because, you know, there's another line, and I actually made a video about that. I'm gonna leave it in the description, maybe also here on the screen, about the line that goes queen b2, knight b5, knight d5, and a3. Now this is a very insane line to play, both with white and with black, but more with white than with black, because the thing is, as I said, you can get after knight d5, you can get after rook b1 certain positions where only white could win, and again, just like I covered that position where, you know, you sack literally like 4 pawns here, right? You can get so many things out of the opening. But after this move knight d5, the thing is, a3 is kind of like the most interesting one of them, because after a6, right, there are a lot of games here still, but black actually wins 21% of them, while white wins only 8%. So we have rook b1, queen a2, and now queen c1. This is the top move here, because a takes b5, and now rook a1, and as you can see, the queen is trapped. But point is, black doesn't care that the queen is trapped, and now black actually is the one sacrificing a lot of materials for play. So the thing is, you can play the move knight c6, but you allow white to take this pawn, and although you're getting you know, some sort of pressure here in the center, it's not the same. It's not the same. Like, yes, there have been games here that continued rook a3, and they have been drawn, but that was not at the highest level. And then again, f6 is the best move, and if you don't know your theory too good, like after c4, what are you gonna play? Okay, knight takes, you know, e takes. By the way, if queen takes, the thing is, the move e5, and now black is much better. You see how crazy this position is, because now you get this pawn, and you just have a bishop and the rook for the queen. But now that the pawns are, you know, and the pawn, now that the pawns are only on this side, now it's actually black that's better. Here you have to take with the e pawn, not allow e5, but you have to play e5 nonetheless. F takes. And here you don't want to take, because I mean, you would just get this. So here you want to take this pawn on a3, and here you know, you would take the pawn, and the line goes castles, and f takes g7, and rook e8 check, and king d1. And if you don't know what you're doing in this positions, like, it's better not to play this. The thing is, the top game continued, it takes f6 and now castles. But the thing is, the only game played in the database in 2011 between some 2400s continued 92, and the game ended in a draw. The game continued actually 92, and this move is not the best because bishop b4 check and you're forced to go to d1. Now you don't have this check to win the queen sadly, but you have just rook takes on f6, and now material is +1 for white, but you don't have that many pawns and your pawns are weak, and black's just gonna be active in a very short time. Okay, maybe not d5, but c5 first, maybe maybe d5 afterwards. So right, this whole line can be played, and after knight d5 there are a lot of possibilities here with the move a3, but the most simple one of them here, instead of knight c6, which is very complicated, is just the move e5. I mean, e5 is simply getting to the point. I mean, bishop takes, right? You want to keep the bishop active, but now c4, you're not allowing white to take anything. But now, you know, the thing is, the only game that I actually made a video about that, continued queen b2, and now, I mean, now black played a move that's crazy, but you don't have to play this move. Black played this move, rook a5, sacrificing the knight. Now white is up +4 points of material, but the thing is, you get this, and after the move queen b1, you get the move knight into c3, and after queen a1, you get the move bishop to b4. Now the rook is defended, the knight is defended, discoveries are threatened, so you have to go queen b2. And the thing is, now you don't have any discoveries like that, because you just either take the bishop or the knight. It doesn't work like that, or like this. Now you take the bishop, right? So you have to go knight d5 check, and you know, this line is very crazy. The thing is, here castles is usually played, or d6 to stop the bishop from going out. But the thing is, after castle, if you try to save your bishop, now you're lost after the move rook a2, and you cannot take the rook because check is coming. And the thing is, you're gonna say, oh well, but the thing is, I just play king f3, and if you look at this position, I mean, you know, black is only up a pawn, and if I can get my pieces out, how are you gonna get your pieces out? Like, there's no way to get your pieces out, and the pawns are just gonna march down the board, and it's over, right? So you might get the same material, but it's just much better for black. So here you have to just resign yourself to the fact that you're not gonna get your bishop out. Just play the move king f3 right away. But now this allows the move d6, and the bishop is getting trapped. But the thing is, all these lines, there are a lot of you know, they're going in depth. But the thing is, here you can also just take the pawn right away. But this allows queen takes on b5. That's not really a big deal, because you can just get check, and probably here the move c3 is forced, because if you move the king to any of those squares, I mean, you just get you lose your queen. And here, you know, after the move c3 is played, very important move. Now you could either go knight takes on c3. If you go knight takes on c3, now queen takes on b4, and this is actually pretty much a forced draw. Here takes king d2, knight d4 check, and for example king c2. Now knight c6 attacking the queen, queen takes on c4, and you just get the move b5, and queen takes on b5. Now bishop a6, and now with the move queen b6, and you take the bishop. And the thing is, why this is a draw? I mean, white has 2 points of material, but for example, if you try to move bishop takes on g7, rook a2 check, and the move king b3 here, you just get a move like rook a6 attacking the queen. After, let's say, the queen moves, you can go rook g8, and you have a lot of pressure here. The rook is lost. Again, this is very, very complicated, but I wanted to play that. I actually had in mind a lot of these lines, right? A lot of these lines. And the thing is, if black's not careful, I showed that you can actually lose the game in this position after a3. There are a lot of ways to go wrong for white. But the thing is, I mean, my opponent just played rook b1, and that's why this line is... This line is not the best of the best lines, because here queen takes a2, rook a1, queen b2, rook b1, and I just made a draw. And the thing is, I mean, I wanted to play, I mean, you know, I was ready for my opponent to play, you know, anything, That was crazy enough. With like maybe even a knight f3 here in this position, or a bishop g3, or something else, but he didn't. So that's like the drawback of this whole line here. Like from the beginning, like you can just get into an 8-move draw just like that. I mean, actually, you know, this game lasted like 5 minutes, and you know, I named it amazing preparation because I kind of knew all of that, all that I'm presenting to you. I kind of knew it already. I mean, I didn't remember everything at the board, of course, in 5 minutes, but if I would have spent like maybe half an hour, I would have remembered a lot of it, and I would have played maybe an amazing game with a queen sacrifice. That would have been, you know, just great and amazing preparation. But that didn't happen, you know, that didn't happen. But this is a very, very solid line against like this line right here is a very, very solid line against the main line London. And if you don't mind making a quick draw, you can definitely play this, and you know, you can study like a lot of sidelines here that can be played. For example, instead of e3, you of course have to study also d5. Like d5 is a very, very important line to study. With d6, with this Benoni, but there are enough grandmaster games that you can look at to get like a grasp of the position. And so e3 and d5 really are like the only moves that you really have to study in depth. But yeah, I mean, you know, that's it for the video. Now this is a solid weapon against the London, as I said. No, thank you for watching the video. Kowalski out.